Back to school jitters are a real thing. Lots of parents on Facebook saying their kids are real stressed right now as they go back to school. How can you help your kids and your whole family? Well, Rittmeyer is an expert in the field of mental toughness with tips on guiding kids through this emotional tornado. And that really is kind of what it is, right, Eric? A tornado of emotions.
It sure is, Paul. We don't know if we're coming, if we're going. The kids don't have a lot of skills for how to understand and process their emotions, so they get so caught up in this big tornado. They don't know what's real. They don't know how to react to it. It's a big mess.
Yeah, and I think even if kids are enjoying school, so this is not to say that they're stressed out because they hate it, although some kids might be saying that, but it's just so different and new for them, especially if they're starting at a new school. So I like your strategies of the 3 N's. So name the 3 things that begin with N.
Yeah, this all starts with our emotions, right? So first off, we have to name it. Then we have to normalize it. Then we have to navigate it. What that means when I talk about naming it, give our kids an emotional vocabulary. Let's help them increase their emotional literacy. Help them label what the feeling is, so when they feel something, they can better articulate it. And then we normalize it. We let them know, hey, this is real. Emotions are real. 100% of your feelings are absolutely okay. It's how you respond to your feelings that's so critically important. Teach them not to turn it off, not to try to ignore it, not to try to suppress it. Just learn, let them know that, hey, this is very, very normal. And the last one is navigate it. This is where we teach them the tools and the tips and the skills that we've learned, hopefully that we've learned as adults, about how to address our emotions. And this is what it's all about.
Eric, I like you saying that it's good to tell kids their emotions are real. Because I think sometimes when a kid says something and you think, oh, they shouldn't feel that way, you tell them, like, okay, I'm going to give an example, Eric. How about this one? I think a lot of kids come home and say, everybody hates me. I can't make a friend. Nobody talked to me. Everybody's going to hate me all year. Well, as a parent, you say, no, that's not true. You shouldn't feel that way. People don't hate you. They're going to love you. Well, it's real that he feels that right then, right? So what would be a thing to say to that kid who says, everybody hates me, I can't make a friend, nobody will talk to me today?
100%, and you bring up a really good point there, Paul. And here's the thing: a lot of times when our kids come to us with these feelings, our gut instinct is to try to sweep it under the rug. Again, because we have many years of dealing with hearing things and seeing things and dealing with adversity and controversy and having people say mean things to us. We know how to brush it off. Our kids don't have those skills. So we have to let them know that the feeling is very real. We've experienced it. This is how we deal with it. Give them constructive ways to, instead of trying to ignore it, help them just channel it. That's all they need to do. Let them know the feelings are real and let them know that we're here to listen to them.
And I think sometimes one of your points is about being honest or realistic, meaning we have to be kind of transparent about our own emotions too, right, as adults?
That is a wonderful point. Transparency is key. Here's the thing. Our kids are amazing emotional detectives. They know exactly what we're thinking, exactly what we're feeling. They read whatever it is that we're putting out there. So we have to be very, very cautious. We have to be honest with them. Ask them questions. Ask them open-ended questions. Let them follow up. Talk on their level. You don't have to try to explain quantum physics to your 5-year-old if they're just asking a basic question. Be honest with them, be open with them, and let them know what they're feeling is real and okay and healthy.
Well, you're a tough Marine. So I can picture some folks maybe saying, oh, come on now, we're coddling kids too much. Just send them out in the world and they're going to get tough on their own. That isn't necessarily true, isn't it? Is it that we can get tough on our own when we're just kids?
Not only is that not true, Paula, it's extremely damaging to our children. I mean, there's this huge misconception about emotions and how, as a society, we're not supposed to tell people. We're not supposed to show when we're upset. This is extremely harmful to our children and adults as well. But instead of trying to withhold it, instead of trying to hold it in, let's learn to process these feelings and understand them as data, just like other forms of more conventional data that we've used. Feelings are there to tell us that something's getting ready to happen, whether it be an opportunity where we're happy or fear where something might hurt us. Stop trying to get people to turn it off. Teach them it's okay. Give them the skills on how to handle them so they respond to situations as opposed to reacting.
And I'm thinking if we just all would have learned that at a young age, how much better off we'd be now, right?
I tell you what, this is so crazy, Paul, because a lot of times with my training, I'm trying to help adults teach their kids something that the adults themselves don't even understand.
Right.
So it becomes a very difficult situation, but this all starts with listening, understanding, recognizing, being honest, and helping them and guiding them through and letting them know that it's real. I understand what you're going through. Let's help you walk through these, because unfortunately, what they're dealing with right now, these things that make them upset, what they're learning are coping mechanisms that will help them deal with adversity in the future.
I love it. That's great stuff. So mental toughness training for sales teams. I know you've got that on the front page of your site right now. You're a mental toughness speaker, and I know you do a lot of that, the training in general for adults. If you missed out on it as a kid, you could try to use some of these principles Eric just talked about on your own children now or your own grandchildren, and then find out how you can get tough yourself in that special way that Eric teaches, the emotional Marine. Eric, it's always great to have you here. Thank you so much.
Likewise, Paula. Thank you for having me. Have a great day. I appreciate it.
Thanks. You too.